my husband and I are finishing up vacation today. By the time y'all see this, we'll be done with vacation. We've had 2 weeks of vacation, and it's a little weird for me because, you know, I work at home, and so I'm still home doing things I would normally do whether or not I was on vacation. But anyway, I did take the opportunity to be on vacation and get a little bit of thrifting done, and it was quite a bit more than I actually thought I'd do while I was on vacation. But I got a big pile of things I wanted to take pictures of and whatnot, but I thought, hey, let me just do a video and show you all my thrift hauls. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to reposition the camera here in just a second, and so y'all can get a better look at some of the things I got, and I could go through them. But I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks. So the first thing is I went to my local Goodwill, just kind of spur of the moment. I was in the area, and I found a couple of nice big tins for doing some jewelry making. Really like the size of these, and that, you know, they're flat and won't have to be uncurved or whatever. I can just cut them and go. So those are really nice. I also got this set of alphabet stamps. These I believe are Stampin' Up brand. Somebody must have gotten rid of a bunch of their Stampin' Up stuff because the whole of Goodwill was littered with stamps. I thought they had them a little priced a bit much because most of them were $5 and up for the sets, and I know they're really good stamps, but for Goodwill I was kind of leery of spending that much because I wasn't sure what the original prices were, and most of them were either alphabet stamps or like texture stamps, so I didn't delve too much into it. I also got this tin. It seems like I got something else when I got this tin. Oh, I'll have to pull those out. I know what I got. Found this tin. I went to a new to me antique store over in Mobile and found this tin. Was the first thing I found, but then the reason I went to that antique store, it's called the Antique Emporium in Mobile, Alabama, and there was a wall of little cubbies with things I could see in them. So I found like watch parts and crystals and escutcheons. Anyway, I can spell it, I can't say it, but just little like hardware parts. But I also found, let me see if I can grab them, a stack of airmail letters. These are all to the same lady from her mother, but they're all from about 1966 or so. I found it funny that England's was on here from the World Cup in 1966, which is the last time they went into the finals, and I bought this unfortunately on the day that England lost out of the semifinals. So, but I thought that was kind of interesting that I found it the same day. So that was all at another place, and I can't, again, been on vacation, I haven't really touched this stuff, but I've been, I don't know, kind of just looking at it and going, okay, when I get back to work, I'll get to it. And then, let's see, the other day, Pat and I were out and about, and I had him pull over to a little thrift store that I had seen and never been to. And first off, I found another tin, which has been my MO lately, but it was filled with buttons and jewelry notions and stuff. Not jewelry, like sewing notions. So I had to grab that because the guy only wanted $3 for it. So, and then there was this, see if I can get it all in there, this tray. And it's not hand painted or anything, it just looks that way, but I really love it, and I paid far too much probably for that tray, but I love having these big trays like this because I can put a project or supplies for a project on it and just pick it up and tote it to the couch, or wherever I'm working, move it off my workspace somewhere else. I've got one a little bit smaller than this I use all the time, and I've been on the lookout for another one like it, so this was a good score. And now the big thing was today I happened to go hit up an estate sale. A couple friends messaged me and were like, hey, we're gonna go to an estate sale near you, want to meet us? So I did, and the big thing for that estate sale was mounds and mounds and mounds of old jewelry. Some of it was just costume stuff. Some of the stuff was from like the 80s and plasticky and whatnot, but there was so much, I was completely overwhelmed. So I ended up only getting 3 little bags of things. And this is, and by the time we got there, I'll say this much, everything was 75% off. So I got huge deals on all of this. But this is just a strand. It's a rhinestone necklace, and it's one really long necklace of rhinestone. So I can definitely cut that up or use it as it is or whatever. And I thought that was pretty sweet. But actually the first thing I found when we first got there are these odd little, and I don't know what they are, if they're resin or, but they're some kind of plastic. And they're little tulip shaped beads. They could be bakelite. I don't know what they are. I think they're just really kind of neat. And it's just a little string of beads. I don't think it was a bracelet. Maybe it had been. I don't know. But I think it's kind of neat. And then I got this a little pearl necklace. It's glass. I can tell by the weight of it. It's glass. But I like the yellowed aged color of it. So I got that. Was all I got as far as jewelry. But then I found a few craft supplies, and I found the sequin waist, which I really like to use on my jelly plate as like a stencil. And that was, you know, again, 75% off from $1, so it was a quarter, so that was a great deal. And then I got into some of the books and stuff. I'm trying to see what I found first. I found a whole section of like kids magazines, old kids magazines. And so I found these three. And this one's dated 1936. It was a gift. And then these two are 1948 and 1949 of children's activities. And they're just neat old books. So I'm not sure how I'm going to use those yet, but I love them. I had somebody coveting them while I was checking out. I also found a Life magazine from 1964. And so it's got, of course, some great images and old advertising and stuff in it. So that's awesome. There's this book is an old book. I'm trying to see what the date on it is. I think it was from the 30s. Yeah, it was the date on it, it was gifted. It was 1938. But I got it because it's set in Panama, the country, and I used to live there as a kid, so I just kind of, you know, it called to me, and it was one of those things, it was 25 cents, so I had to have it. Now what else? There were these, and I know that they're reproduction. It's called Ladies World, and it's $18.95. And like I said, the condition and the lack of aging on it, I know that they're reproductions. But again, they have fantastic images in them. These, I think I got $18.95, $18.96, and $18.97. Well, let's see, November, October, and December. So they're all different years, but towards the end of the year. But really great images and fun little things. And again, since it's a reproduction, it's not as big a deal for me to use it. And then there's this Woman Home Companion, and the date on it is 1905. Like I said, it's another reproduction. But look at these. Fabulous. Oh, I love it. So I grabbed those, and again, they weren't much. And then I found out I can't resist an old dictionary. I cannot help myself. So I grabbed this one because like I said, I knew it was going to be inexpensive. And it's got some, it's fabulous. I love it. Look at this. Oh, the aging and all of that. So I'm trying to see if there's a date, if anybody wrote anything in this. And it's coming apart, so it's not in great shape. So I won't feel too bad if I do recycle it somehow. Now the last thing I found, this house was full of genealogy books. This person either worked as a genealogist or was just very big into it. And so I didn't get any of the genealogy books, but I did get some of the notebooks that the person that lived there had used. Now this has some writing in it. There's a lot of blank pages in this one, but look at this old composition book. It's really just lovely. And then I found these two spiral bound notebooks. I don't really know what the age of these are, and for some reason this one was written in upside down. But it's all, every page has writing in it, which I love. And the same for this one. It's just pages upon pages of, you know, and some of these pages are beautifully yellowed and aged. So that was all that. I did make it to the bead store one day this week, so I did pick up a couple little things, but that's nothing that I'm sure any of y'all want to see because it's nothing big. So anyway, that's been my finds for vacation this July. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Let me know if you have any questions, want any more details on some of these things, or if you might have any idea what some of these might be, or what if they're worth something before I tear them up. So y'all let me know. Thanks for stopping by and watching. I appreciate it. Make sure to like, thumbs up, subscribe, all those things. Bye.